welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence. Today I want to take some time and I want to talk about what seems to be at the end of June. What we will be getting is the first G.I. Joe Classified Haslab, and I kind of just want to put it on record of what I think it's going to be, and in the comments I would love to hear what you guys think it is. So as you can see, you're probably wondering why you're not sitting in your normal spot where you review, and that's because I kind of want to grab some of the toys that I think that it might be, and explain why I could see this coming, or say why I don't think this is what it's gonna be. So first off, let me start off with the size of a Haslab Classified. And I don't think people realize, now I'm actually standing next to the aircraft carrier, and I think a lot of people that say they want a classified aircraft carrier don't realize exactly how big it would be or how expensive it would be. So I'm not going to show that because then I got to turn everything, and it's 7.5 feet long. It's bigger than most NBA players, maybe bigger than all NBA players. But anyway, so what I have here is a 3D printed classified scale Skyhawk. So as you can see, I have Duke inside of it, and here for reference I have the actual Skyhawk, and as you can see, it almost doubles in size. So when people say they want something big like this, you have to understand exactly how big it would be and how much space that it would take up. So let's just get into this and what we all think that it might be. So at the end of the live stream, they showed the Haslab logo and said G.I. Joe Classified. And then you heard something. And what everyone heard was tank treads. So hearing the tank treads, that was the first thing that people thought, and they said, hey, what could it be? And of course, the first thing anyone thought was Cobra HISS. Now here we have Cobra HISS. Again, it would be in the size that you could do a Haslab. There's no doubt about it. You could expand it. You can make it bigger. You can make it so doors open up. You may be able to fit a few figures in. You can get one figure inside there. A lot of people don't realize is the smaller 3 3/4 figures, they don't take up nearly as much space. And what I mean by that is their shoulder width isn't nearly as big as what the Classified is when you go down to the scale. But when you look at a HISS, it's not that big. It'd be roughly probably out to about here. You got gun turret, you got a couple spots for some figures on the back. It'd be kind of cool. I do think that this is something you could probably do at retail at a pretty expensive price, or just do through Hasbro Pulse. So that was the Cobra one that everyone kind of came up with. The other ones were, if I can even reach this, is a Mobat. My Mobat's a little dirty, a little dusty. I guess I gotta dust a little more in here. And this would actually be really cool. There's no doubt about that. As you can see, I 3D printed a new gun. I gotta 3D print the bottom and get some brackets so I can make this thing run again. So Mobat wouldn't be that bad. You kind of got to look at it and think about it. Where would you put more figures? You only have a spot for one figure up top. You would be able to display to redo issue number 1, but you'd have to put some pegs on it. I'm not sure how well it would come across, and even if it would look like a Mobat. I really don't think that's it. The HISS is probably the closest thing that I would think that it might be. I'm not going to try and put this back in the headquarters. So the other tank that a lot of people were thinking would be the Mauler. And I'm not gonna lie, I would love to have a Mauler. And this might fit in perfectly. Let's not lose Dusty here. Because if you made it with enough room to put in 2 figures, you put 2 figures up here. Maybe if they made it remote control, done through your phone, that'd be pretty cool. You know, you got your tow cable. I mean, they could do some stretch goals where you're pulling, you know, the missile command or different things like that as your stretch goals. But that's one thing that we could do. I could see that as a possibility, but they really haven't pushed to this wave yet. So there's been a few other speculations. Unless the mud flap, and now I'm gonna drive me nuts. So anyway, so I've heard people talk about the General, I think, and a few other things that I think would just be too big. I believe Havoc would just be too big, although it would be able to house a lot of things. It does have tank treads, so you kind of heard the tank treads going. People talk about the Whale. Whale would be very expensive, although it would hold a lot of figures, so as much real estate as it would take up. But here's what I heard, and I could be completely wrong, but I'm gonna throw it out there, and this is gonna be out there for the rest of my life. Is if you listen to it really closely, it sounds like these tank treads, but as you listen more and more and more, it sounds like some whipping sounds, almost like a propeller. So I'm saying right now, and I've been saying this on every live stream that I've been, you know, messaging in or even on Instagram, I think what we're gonna get is, and this is what I'm hoping for, a Dragonfly with Wild Bill, and our first stretch goal being Airborne. Now, again, I'm going to compare these two here. If you look at your Skyhawk, and you compare them, yeah, you have this big tail, but let's be honest, it wouldn't take up that much real estate. Not to mention, you could also hang it so it's flying. You can have 2 people in there. You can go with the pegs, make it so the propellers actually spin, just like this. I don't want anything that's the exact same. I want it to be close enough that when you look at it, but I think a Dragonfly would be awesome. And again, in comparison to this Skyhawk, all right, you can see exactly how it could work. It'd be much larger, obviously, because of the tail. But I think they could do this. They could do service with this. But again, you got to go back and listen to it. I've done it 100 times, and when I listen to it, on my TV with my sound bar, it comes through way better. But right at the beginning, it really does sound like tank treads. But as you listen more, it sounds like a whipping sound, like a helicopter. And let's be honest, I don't think you could be. I'm pointing to it like you guys can see it here. I'll turn it here. I don't think it could be a Tomahawk, and yes, that's the Eagle Hawk, the Tomahawk's upstairs. You know, it's not going to be the aircraft carrier. All right. So I do apologize. I'm trying not to smack into the Sky Striker or these other things. I'm already short as it is, yet I seem to bang my head against these things every time that I'm in here. So anyway, I'd love to hear your comments, what you think that it might be. I've heard people talk about it being a mini tank. I don't know. I can't see them doing something so small unless they did a pack of small little vehicles. But why do that? You could produce the armadillo. I always call it the mini tank. You could produce an armadillo and put that out at, you know, Target, Walmart, Hasbro Pulse, different things like that. And again, you can't do too big. But they really did give you an idea that it sounds like tank treads, but to me, the more and more I listened to it, and I heard it the first time. So it wasn't like I listened to it over and over. I heard it the first time that I thought it sounded like a helicopter which made me go right to the Dragonfly. And also, I had just seen someone 3D print a Dragonfly, and it was awfully big. But again, if I'm going to be spending $400 to $500, I want something that I'm not going to be able to get in retail. A hiss, depending on how detailed it is something you could push out through Hasbro Pulse, through the fan channels, and do stuff like that where it's scaled down, just like Sky Strikers. They were scaled down. The Haslab that we got is going to be so detailed. Oh, I can't wait for it. It's going to be so detailed that you can never do that for that price. I think something like a whale would just be probably around $600. Well, it holds a lot of stuff, but $600, I don't know if I can cut that. But again, so I'm calling my shot. I believe it's going to be a Dragonfly. I would definitely love to hear what your thoughts are. Leave it in the comments. I love discussing this. We're going to find out in, today is, Geek Dad Life's about to start. It's telling me right now. It's the 12th. So we're gonna find this out right at the end of the month. Right around the same time, you're probably going to have, unfortunately, and I'm not saying I'm rooting for this, probably around the same time you're going to have the Star Wars team cursing at the G.I. Joe team, as it looks like, unfortunately, Star Wars might have another Haslab fail. I thought they were going with something safe with that lightsaber. It's not looking so good with just over 1,000 backers to 15 days. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Instagram is a Punk with Toys. I also started a Twitter, so I can push out the videos, different things like that. Again, a Punk with Toys on Twitter. That's brand new. I think I got a whopping 3 followers. Hopefully that goes up. But anyway, follow me on the social channels. You'll see me push out the videos. Hopefully, I'll start getting some figures in, some toys in, so I can start doing my reviews again. I know Valiverse stuff should be shipping out next week. That will be cool. So I think there's 4 figures I got coming from there, along with the weapons pack. Big Bad Toys will probably be getting their Valiverse figures, so Steel Brigade, and I have a feeling that all the G.I. Joe stuff is going to drop all at once, and it's going to be very stressful trying to figure out not just how much money is going out, but hoping I can, how you say, oh yeah, get to the pre-orders I don't need anymore and cancel. So anyway, I'm out of here. Again, a Punk with Toys. Thank you for checking out the channel. Let me hear what you think. And again, it doesn't have to be those 3. It could be a Stinger. You know, the Vamp. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. So, anyway, I guess this is it. Happy toy hunting and have a great night.